Hello, Harrison Central students. This is the first in a series of videos that will be posted to Google Classroom explaining the process that we will be using to schedule classes for the school year 2021. We hope that you are staying safe and healthy, and although this is not our usual method for scheduling, we hope that you will find all of the information informative and help you get through this process. Ms. Dorn and myself will be producing short videos explaining various aspects of the scheduling process and programs that we have here at Harrison Central. If the program applies to you, I strongly encourage you to watch the video to get a better explanation of it. Our first video will explain the process that we will use to select classes for next school year. On Google Classroom, as a class assignment, each of you were given a copy of the scheduling sheet for this school year. We encourage you to watch videos and use the Program of Studies guide to help fill in your document. This first video will take you through the process of selecting your classes and how to fill out your selection sheet.
Okay, 11th graders, obviously this isn't the way we usually go through our scheduling process. And this is going to be your last time scheduling classes for us here at Harrison Central. So it's going to be a little different for you. So I'm going to walk you through an explanation of what we need you to do in order to pick your classes for next year. So you're already past this step most likely, but if not, you're going to click on your class, which is the class of 2021, and you'll see this video along with some others. I'm going to click on this sample just to kind of walk through the process. So you'll see a bunch of videos posted here about all the different programs that we have here at Harrison Central, from an honors diploma to academic letters to National Honor Society to a lot of other stuff. So please check those out if those apply to you, and make sure you rely on the Program of Studies to kind of guide you through the whole process. As we go through here, I'm going to kind of walk you through each step. So there's been an assignment posted for you. And when you click on that assignment, I know it looks a little different than mine here, but you'll see this suggested course sequence document, and you'll see the grade 12 scheduling sheet. So I'm just going to show you these very briefly. So this course sequence guide walks you through the course subjects. So you'll notice in English, as a 12th grader, you're probably either taking English 12 if you're on this path, or you're taking the CCP classes if you're on this path. For math, you're either on this path here, so you're probably on Algebra 2 for your last one. If you're on the regular one, you're on your 4th math credit, which for most of you will probably be College Review Math. And some of you may be on this sequence as well, and you might want to take this Scholars Calc or this College Credit Plus class. So it's up to you. Science-wise, you only need 3 to graduate. I would suggest taking a science if you are interested in that. There's some options here we'll go over as well. And in social studies, as a senior, you're obviously taking the service learning class, but then there's other classes for you that you can take. So let's go back to the Google assignment here, and we'll pop open the grade 12 scheduling sheet. So this is the assignment, the copy that's been shared with you that you need to fill out to select your classes for next school year. So at the top here in yellow, you'll see it says suggested course sequence guide. That's what we just looked at. So feel free to use that as a resource. You'll also see the Program of Studies that you're going to need for course codes and course descriptions. It's similar to what it's been in the past. So that document can be found at this link. So you click on that link, and it takes you to the Program of Studies, which is this page. This can also be reached through the home page as well. When you click on the Program of Studies, this is the document that comes up, and you'll notice that it looks similar to years past. There's some information in it here, and then we have graduation requirements. Maybe take a look at that. There's a video on that as well. Honors diploma if it applies to you, academic letter, etc. And then there's some pathways, other information in this middle part. You'll notice right here is probably one that you'll want to take a look at, and we'll take a look at it here in a second. That's page 33. And then we get down to the courses down here and some other information as well. Take a look at the course description. There's a lot of good information there that you probably don't know, so please take a look at it. So what we do is we go through and schedule our classes. So I'm going to show you how you fill this out, and then I'll talk to you about some different aspects as well. So your name goes in the first box. And then we go down to our requested courses for 2021. And then we have some required courses. So all of you need an English class. So you use the program of studies to find your English. So English is on page 61. So we go down to 61. And we'll see English. And you're on one of these two sequences. So maybe we're on this one. So we're going to pick English 12. So 604 is English 12. And you're going to write the number down with it here. So you go back to your sheet, type in English 12, put the number down, and move on to math. So we know that whatever math class you're in, again, you go to the program of studies and you go to the math section. And you can see all the different math classes that you have the capability of taking. So you'll write whatever one you're on. So if you're on this sequence, it's Algebra 2. If you're on this one, it's probably College Review Math. Or it could be a different one. And then if you're on this one, it's probably either the Calc class, or you could choose to take this CCP classes. Now CCP classes are a little different this year coming. So if you chose or want to take it, if you're in it this year, you automatically qualify into next year as long as you're doing well. If you've never taken a College Credit Plus class before but want to, the requirements have changed slightly. So if you qualify ACT-wise, you're obviously in. So all of you should have taken ACT this year. So I'll hide those scores. So if you want to get in, you certainly can sign up. Also, if you have a certain GPA, that's going to be a major criteria in selecting, simply because placement tests are hard to come by right now with everything that's going on. So if you choose to pick one of these, by all means, sign up for it if you want to do it. Just make sure that you're, obviously you have to have A's and B's or better in these classes, or you're not going to be allowed to take it. But if you want to choose to take it, sign up for it, and then I'll contact you with what you need to do from there. So if you chose a College Credit Plus class, you would have to put both of these down, because you can see that it says semester right here. So you would put both of these classes down as your choice for next year. So when you go back to your scheduling sheet, if you chose those ones, you would put CCP Stats / College Algebra, and then write both numbers down. So I think it's 750 / 751 maybe. Yeah, 750 and 751. Same thing with English. So if you wanted to do the CCP English, you would just write down the courses for that. Some of you took it this year, so you would take the next two, which would be Comp 2 and Speech. If you've never taken it before, you have to do the Comp 1 and Experiencing Lit class. So take a look at those whenever you go through. And then you'll see Service Learning has been filled in for you already. So you have 3 courses basically at the top that you have to take. And then you have some elective choices. So you'll see 4 choices, 7-period day, just like this year. And we want you to put these in order of importance to you. So you're going to pick classes just like you've done in years past. So you look through the program of studies and find courses you want. So if you want to do another science, you pick a science class. If you want to do another social studies, you do another social studies. So there's a bunch of options. So all these different options are available to you. We do have that college bio class as well. Scholars Physics, Scholars Chem, Zoology, Forensics, Anatomy, all those classes are available to you if you haven't taken them before. So feel free to sign up for any of those if you're interested. Same thing with social studies. There's a street law class, there's a psych class, some other ones here as well. So take a look through those if you're interested in social studies. Just make sure you're writing down the numbers whenever you come across one that you like, so you can fill in your sheet moving forward. Business and tech, we have the same classes we have this year basically, guys. So you have the publication design class is one that a lot of seniors take, yearbook, etc. You have the media class, which is the news and all the graphics and things like that that you do. And that's going to be ever expanding as we move forward. We have some coding classes. We have this tech repair class. So if you're really into repairing technology, you actually work one-on-one with our tech staff and learn a trade, and you're actually down there fixing things most of the time. Health and PE, if you haven't had a PE class, make sure you get that taken care of unless you're using a waiver. fitness and training and exercise science. That's in the weight room, fitness room. So sign up for that if that interests you. Fine arts are the same. So we have arts, whatever art you would go into. This is the marching band. So make sure you sign up for that if you're in the marching band. Choir, select choir, classes we've had in the past. Foreign language, sign up for ones if you so choose, wherever you're at in the sequence. Industrial tech, same thing. You can choose any of these classes. Agriculture, you can choose any of these as well. Try not to repeat one that you've taken previously. They do have the ag capstone here. If you're a four-year ag participant and want to choose to do that, you could possibly take ag capstone, which allows you to leave if you have like a internship or a job in an ag-related field. And we have the work skills program. So if you're interested in the work skills program, you need to sign up for both of these. One's a class you take here at the school. One's a period you get out early to go to a job. You do have to qualify for work skills and work experience. You have to be academically or economically at risk. But go ahead and sign up. We'll check to see if you meet that if you're interested in doing that. So when you fill out your sheet, you would write the class and the number of the course that you want. Now you'll notice at the bottom here, it says if you qualify for senior release and want to do it, include it as one of your electives in the order of importance. So maybe you desperately need Spanish 3, so that might be your first choice. And then maybe you put senior release and then you put a couple more classes that you might want. Or you just, I want senior release no matter what, so you would write that in this first box and then fill in the rest of your electives. If you want choir or something ahead of senior release, you put that down. That just tells us, so when we're doing the scheduling process, that if it comes down to choir or senior release, you're going in choir before you go in that one. So it just gives us an idea. And then you're going to put a bonus one down here as well to help us in case we need it. So you'll fill in the course and the course number. So before we fill this out, I'll give you an example. I'll show you briefly the senior release. So this page right here is the senior release page, and it's got some criteria, so you need to make sure you follow. If you don't, then you cannot do this program. Obviously, this is a privilege, so we want to make sure that's understood. It's not a right, so if you don't follow the rules, you lose senior release. So just to qualify, let's go through the qualifications real quick. You have at least 17 credits. Most of you should have way more than that at this point. You've completed state testing requirements for graduation. So if you haven't finished state testing requirements, don't have your 18 points, you're not going to be allowed to do it. I've not received a failing grade in any course during my 11th grade year. So if you're struggling or kind of sloughing off here and are in danger of failing, you want to make sure, if you fail a class in 11th grade, you're not going to be allowed to do senior release. And then once we get into your senior year, there's some criteria. So it says I'll not be suspended in or out during my senior year. If you are, you lose the privilege. You can't be absent more than 5 days in any grading period. You can't be tardy more than 3 times. You have transportation. This is a big one here, guys. You're not going to be allowed to hang around on school grounds, and that includes the football field and Stevenson Center area. If you leave and do senior release, you leave school grounds. If you have to come back for practice or whatever, you come back when it's time for practice. You don't go hang out in the parking lot and play games. If you do, you'll lose the privilege. And it says my schedule will not be changed to accommodate. We do a really good job of making sure that you get the things you ask, if at all possible. So we will make sure you know that. So this is a page that we need printed out and signed by you and a parent so you guys understand what the rules are for senior release. So if you so choose senior release, and that's your number one choice, you would write that in the box. Now you're not going to actually schedule that when we go through the scheduling process, but we need to know that that's your number one choice. And then you just fill it in from there. So maybe it's select choir, maybe it's broadcast media, 305, and then whatever your last class is. So maybe it's fitness, and that's 473. So then you write a bonus class down here as well, in case you can't get the other one. So if I can't get one of those, I want course. And now my sheet's done. And then I just come up here and submit it like I normally would to Classroom. Make sure we get these submitted by May 1st. So that gives you over a week to get everything filled in what you want and submit it so we can get you on to step 2. So this is step 1 of the process, and then we'll move on.
Just as a reminder, if you chose to go to the Career Center next year, if you could please write that on your scheduling sheet. We still want you to fill out a scheduling sheet, just in case you change your mind. But if you chose to go to Harrison or Belmont or Jefferson, please write that on the scheduling sheet when you submit. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. And if you have any further questions, do not hesitate to contact myself or Ms. Dorn. Thank you, and as always, go Huskies.